Good afternoon. My name is Cameron Howland, President of the Class of 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing while the chamber choir sings our national anthem. Thank you, Ms. Hodge, and members of the Chamber Choir for that beautiful performance. Senior members, return to your seats. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to introduce Enna Chu, salutatorian of the class of 2022.
Thank you, Cam. Welcome, class of 2022, family, friends, teachers, and thank you all for being here to celebrate such an important moment in our lives. So, when I won this award at Senior Awards, I was very surprised, but it turns out my family was even more so. This was funny, not mean. I don't want to give you the wrong impression of my parents, but I did want to say thank you, Mom and Dad, for your support and sarcasm, and Enan for always telling me the truth. So, I wrote this speech around right before it was due, but I'd been talking about it for a few weeks with friends while we laid on mats and gave up on pretending to work out during gym class at 8 in the morning. Honestly, I didn't know what to say. There are so many memories from my 7 years here that I didn't feel like I could do justice to. The first of them was in 6th grade math class. I remember our desks were organized in groups of 4, where we sat in alphabetical order by last name, and I was distracted a lot with painting whiteout on the person across from me's stuff. Our teacher, Mrs. Fat, who's now at Irving, was pregnant, and at the end of the year, we threw her a baby shower. There were some teachers involved, of course, because 6th graders throwing a surprise by themselves would be a disaster. And while they went to get her from the supposed meeting or whatever she had been called out for, we hid. Now, there were some conventional hiding places, and then there was someone who somehow fit into the cabinet by the door. The wood probably caused a bit of a sound barrier because while we all jumped out as simultaneously as we could to yell surprise, a few seconds later, the cabinet door burst open and boyang rolled out at the teacher's feet. This isn't as funny now, but I remember back then we could not stop laughing. 7th grade I remember a bit less. What stands out to me is Mr. Dykman's class and all the epic whiteboard drawings he would make of aqueducts and castles and soldiers fighting in wars. 8th grade was a lot of drama, but it was also a fun year. I remember, despite practicing multiple times, we all managed to mess up on graduation and stood at the wrong time, which hopefully we won't do again this year. High school was a roller coaster, and a few random things jump out at me. Visits to the Deca store to buy honey buns that they unfortunately don't have anymore, sitting on the floor at the end of the bathroom to have random deep conversations, and stressing over Catcher in the Rye assignments and math homework and college apps. I know that for as long as I live, I will never forget the plot and analysis of Hamlet, or the fact that roadkill is edible and apparently pretty good. We might not have been in person for all 4 years, and I know that for a while at the beginning of this year, I didn't really feel like a senior, but I still have a lot of memories here. We all do. And whether or not we like it, this place and our time here has shaped us in ways that we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. We've all been through a lot, individually and collectively, but today, we're graduating. And as we head off to wherever we go next, I hope that, like I do, you'll look back at our time in Highland Park with nostalgia and a fair bit of embarrassment at who we once were, but pride at who we've all become now. Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce back to the stage Cameron Howland, president of the class of 2022, to share his class reflections.
Thank you, Enna, for those wise words and thoughtful memories. What a beautiful way to start off our ceremony today. Let's hear it once more for Enna. Superintendent Dr. Nicosia, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Lassiter, Mr. Richardson, and Mr. Broadfoot, thank you for gathering us here today. If it's okay with all of you, I would like to invite every one of us, parents, grandparents, siblings, cousins, teachers, and we graduates, sitting right where you are, to take a quiet moment just now on this gorgeous Monday in Highland Park, June 20th, 2022, and take this all in. Moms and dads, parents, after 18 years, changing diapers, sitting at the playground, driving to lessons and sports, sweating grade reports and coping with our back talk, you can now exhale. While we know no school or town is perfect, I can feel the love and pride in this place. Pride for what everyone here has accomplished together. And whatever year they happen and whatever place they happen, graduations are a big deal. Understandably, most graduations focus on the students in their caps and gowns. But we all know that this day is the result of an extraordinary team effort. An effort of teachers, staff, extended family, and students. And if there was ever a class that owes its success to teamwork, it's the class of 2022. Ask any coach worth their salt, and they'll tell you that the best teams show up to practice. They stick together, they adapt to unexpected challenges, and they overcome them. And they never quit. Seldom do things run smoothly in the course of an ordinary 4 years in high school. But toss in one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, you know which one I'm talking about, and the journey from sophomore to junior to senior to graduation might reasonably seem like an unattainable goal. Not at Highland Park High School. As much as many of us may want to forget the travails of the past few years, there is a remarkable silver lining we can carry with us into our uncertain futures beyond high school. The example our teachers, our parents, and each other in making today's dream come true. I know each of you have stories, but I'll share a few short examples here. Shakespeare, without the ability to unite his actors or an audience, might have despaired. Highland Park High School did not. Despite our modern plague, the show must and did go on in an inspired Midsummer Night's Dream, streamed live into homes near and far. Model UN and mock trial teams organized with students across the state and world to tackle policy problems and bombard each other with arguments, logical and otherwise. Our school athletes, how disappointing it was to see games and matches canceled. But they hung in there, and they had each other's backs on the field and the court and off it. Our teachers, a little slower with the technology than most of us, but we'll forgive you for that. They had to relearn how to practice their craft from home through a laptop. When some of us checked out, they checked in on us and kept us engaged with emails, phone calls, and even a socially distanced visit to a front door. And finally, arguably the most important members of our team, our family. Well, there they were, and here they are. We love you. We love you. Now, for any of you, fellow classmates, who are worried about how you'll handle the challenges that lie ahead, be it full-time work or new classes at college, you have already proven you can roll with the unexpected, the disappointing, and even the heartbreaking. In your quiver, the one with the arrows, you have grit, you have creativity, you have persistence, you have resilience, you have humor, and you have patience. We did not make these arrows ourselves. We made them together, with some sweat and some tears, with our teachers, with our parents, with our siblings, and with our classmates. Class of 2022, aim high. Remember now and in the future, we do not succeed on our own, but together. We did so here in 2022 in Highland Park. Hold that example and the lessons of your time here close. And there will be next to nothing you cannot do to make the world a better place for yourself, for the ones you love, and this wonderful community that loves you back. Now let's go and make the most of this precious gift we've been given. Thank you, everyone. I now ask that Mr. Broadfoot, our class advisor, please come to the podium to share his remarks.
Thank you, Cameron. 4 years ago, when I took on the role as the advisor to the class of 2022, I had no idea what I was getting into. Virtual pep rallies and spirit weeks, fireside chats in Mr. Lassiter's Zoom room, and canceled events like junior prom. The first 3 years certainly did not go as expected. But that did not stop us. To the credit of the class of 2022, the class officers, the parents and guardians of the class, and the entire HPHS community, we were able to come back for our senior year and make up for lost time. We had a make-up junior prom in the very beginning of the year. We revived Spirit Week and Spirit Hall decorating and had a homecoming dance. We brought back our service day tradition, and we were able to have a prom and a new senior trip. The class of 2022 has helped HPHS reestablish these very important traditions and given us a strong foundation to build off of in the coming years. In doing so, the class has shown its resiliency, its determination, and its strength. There were many curveballs thrown at the class of 2022, and yet here we are. I could not be more proud of the way this class has met challenges and forged ahead. And so, my advice to you is to take those lessons you've learned these past 4 years and apply the same determination to the obstacles you face in the future. I have every confidence that this class will succeed and wish you all the very best.
Under the direction of Ms. Perez and Miss Nicole Hodge, the Highland Park High School Philharmonic Orchestra and Choir will now perform the Highland Park Alma Mater. Senior members of choir and orchestra, please join.
Thank you, Ms. Perez and Ms. Hodge. Senior members of the choir and orchestra, please be seated.
It's with great pleasure that I now introduce Mark Rubin, valedictorian of the class of 2022.
Thank you, Cameron. Hello, class of 2022. Before I begin, on behalf of the class, I would like to thank some people who were instrumental in making this day possible. First, to the teachers, staff, administration, Board of Education, guidance counselors, and all the people who made this day possible. Thank you for creating an environment that fosters our education. Your hard work behind the scenes to make this building run smoothly is truly appreciated. Thank you to the coaches, volunteers, club supervisors, and our class advisor, Mr. Broadfoot. Our school activities have been some of my greatest experiences in high school, and you guys work each day to ensure that every student has a great time. Finally, thank you to the parents, guardians, and families who made this day possible. I purposely left this one for last because there are not enough words of gratitude for me to express how important you have been in the lives of each of our graduates. I want to personally thank my own mom, dad, and brother Scott for all you have done to get me here today. I love you all, and happy birthday, Scott. When I first found out I was making this speech, plenty of ideas flew through my head. And the same goes for hundreds of others, as I've spent the past month hearing tons of ideas for what I should talk about. I want to discuss something that would not only be relevant parting words to my classmates, but also something that was meaningful to me in my high school experience. Finally, I came back to a show I was watching last summer, and the quote that distinctly stood out to me. Quote, 95% of what happens in your life will be determined by your own decisions. While it was a simple quote, it stuck with me for its emphasis on everyone's ability to shape their future and find a path to success. When I thought about this quote, I thought about how we are the next generation of doctors like Ewan, businesswomen like Alina, broadcasters like Michael, teachers like Gia, and even Wall Street venture capitalists like Cam right here. As we walk off this stage with our diplomas today, we are stepping into the real world, where each of our paths will be unique and we can create our own definitions of success. This is where the pitfall in my interpretation of the quote lies. I originally saw it as a quote about the manifestation of success, where we each have the power in life to achieve whatever we put our minds to. But life is not all about success. See, success has always been synonymous with failure, and the two cannot be separated. Even if 95% of what happens in our lives can be dictated by our actions, there is always the risk that what we want may never come to fruition. This is the true lesson I learned from high school and want to share with all of you today. Spend your life working for something you love. Life is too unpredictable to only reach for the final destination. Choose your path so that you love the journey it takes you on. Along the same line, make time for the people that matter in your life. One of the greatest lessons I've learned from the pandemic of senioritis that we face this year is that scoring 1% better in a class doesn't matter. Don't spend your life chasing materialistic goals at the expense of relationships with your loved ones. After we leave this front lawn today, we will face new and exciting challenges. Going to college, choosing a major, finding a job, getting married, having children. All right, I'll slow down. We still technically haven't finished high school yet. But in each of these things, I encourage you all to follow these guiding principles. If you took nothing from my speech, stopped paying attention, or zoned out one last time to finish your high school career, I'll leave you with this. If we have the ability to control 95% of what happens in our lives, use it to control your happiness. Use it so you can chase the dreams that people tell you you can't achieve and love every minute of the path. Use it so you can choose a job that will allow you to spend time and cherish relationships with your friends, families, and classmates. Use it so you can arrive at each of your goals and think back on how much you enjoyed the journey. As we move on to bigger and better things in the next chapter of our lives, I ask each and every one of you to pursue a path that will have you waking up every morning grateful for the opportunity to be where you are. This high school has prepared us to take on whatever challenges come our way, and I'm confident that we all have a bright future ahead of us. We are the next generation of high achievers. We are the class of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. It is with great pleasure that I now introduce Board of Education President, Ms. Marilyn Pruce.
Class of 2020, oh, here we go. Class of 2022, I'm here to bring to you congratulations from the Board of Education. We're also proud of you for reaching this great milestone. I have recently gotten interested in the history of Highland Park, and in particular, in the many now famous people that graduated from Highland Park High School, as you are doing today, or that lived in Highland Park, as all of you do. I was surprised to learn that HPHS graduated famous athletes like L.J. Smith from the class of 1997, who had a successful NFL career with the Philadelphia Eagles and played in the Super Bowl 39. And Ted Kubiak from the class of 1960, who played for the Oakland A's when they won 3 consecutive World Series. And did you know that Willie Garson of Sex and the City fame and Jim Axelrod, a well-known CBS News correspondent, graduated from Highland Park High School in the early 1980s. Your parents more likely recognize names like the artist Roy Lichtenstein and performers Kirk Douglas and Fred Astaire, who lived for parts of their lives in Highland Park. They didn't actually go to high school, but they lived here. I think it counts. There are even 2 Nobel Prize winners who came from Highland Park. Arno Penzias, who discovered the radiation that helped establish the Big Bang Theory, and Selman Waxman, who won the Nobel Prize for his work on antibiotics. And of course, there's Earl Dixon, who way back in 1920 invented the Band-Aid while living in Highland Park. We've got that bench downtown to prove it. I could keep going on, but you get the idea. I share the names of these Highland Park alumni and residents to tell you that you too can accomplish anything you set your mind to as you leave the high school they went to and start this next step in your lives. You have already accomplished something that none of these famous people have done. You completed more than half of your high school education in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. You passed classes that were at the same time virtual, hybrid, and in person. And you did this while masked and keeping a social distance from your friends. That, I'm sure, was the hardest of all. If you can do that, you can do anything. Through all the research that I did on Highland Park, I didn't find anyone who had those skills on their resume. So you are leaving Highland Park High School with the full confidence, admiration, and support of your families, your teachers, the Board of Education, and your community as you move forward. We all wish you much success, and most importantly, as the earlier speaker said, happiness in your future. Congratulations again to all of you, the students, staff, and families of the class of 2022.
Thank you. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Michael Laster, Principal of Highland Park High School, who will present the class of 2022.
Thank you, Cameron. Good afternoon, parents, guardians, family, and community members, our Board of Education, administration, Highland Park High School faculty and staff, and most of all, good afternoon to all our graduating class of 2022. I have a few people to thank publicly for this ceremony and assisting me with getting the class of 2022 ready for graduation. Thank you to Ms. Carolina Broderick, my administrative assistant, firstly, for taking on this new responsibility during a particularly challenging year as we rode quite a roller coaster, adjusting to in-person learning and our own personal challenges as well. You've been so organized and dedicated to making sure everything goes well, especially this afternoon. Give her a round of applause. Thank you to Mr. Jason Richardson, the assistant principal of the high school, for guiding our seniors in meeting all of their obligations so they could join their peers knowing they met the requirements of graduation. Give him a round of applause. Thank you also to Ms. Julia Dewhurst for all she does with our seniors, particularly with senior awards and in preparation for our ceremony today. Give her a round of applause. A big thank you to our tech setup by Mr. Wilmar Rubiano and our custodial setup led by Mr. Angelo Melendez Jr. under the direction of Mr. Michael O'Donnell for this great, gorgeous setup out here on this front lawn. Thank you to Mr. Chris Broadfoot, the class of 2022's advisor, who has been able to reestablish all of the school traditions for our seniors, including 2 Spirit Weeks, one of which they won, and another where they showed just a bit too much spirit, although their solution to the hoop challenge was the most ingenuitive one I have ever seen. These seniors were able to celebrate the homecoming, albeit masked, fully vaccinated or tested prior to the dance. They still had a great time. They were able to celebrate their prom in style as well as they danced the night away, even getting me and Mr. Lee out on the dance floor to percolate. They enjoyed a wonderful senior trip and a day at the beach in Wildwood that was a relaxing way to unwind after a stressful year. And lastly, we were able to have the seniors retrace their childhood journey through the halls of our high school, middle school, Bartle, and back to Irving while students and teachers clapped for them. They joined our first graders last Friday during their graduation celebration, and it was so heartwarming to watch both levels of graduates smiling together in a moment I hope our graduates won't forget. Seniors, please stand now. And thank your teachers and families for all they have done to get you to this day. You can have a seat. As I prepared for this speech, I put a lot of thought into what I would say. It has become my tradition to write this speech on Father's Day weekend. I find it fitting, because as your principal, I serve in loco parentis, in place of your parents, when you are in our beautiful school building, and I feel like a father swollen with pride at this moment for the accomplishments you have made. I've watched you grow and develop so much over this year, which has felt like so many years rolled into one, because we had not seen most of you since midway through your sophomore year. At times, I have struggled with some of you, just like parents of teenagers. I've shared stories with you about my own family. I've given support to those among you who have dealt with tremendous challenges, and I have laughed with you, danced with you, and done my best to guide you all to this moment. I've seen these seniors demonstrate their openness, wisdom, leadership, and spirit as our true owls thoroughly, and I believe their strength is their spirit. They have made it through the 3 years of unprecedented changes to how we deliver education, but yet most of them have done so by rolling with these changes, adapting, or forcing us to adapt, and they have come out ready for what's next. There are those among us who may believe otherwise, because our experience in high school was different. We believe that our workloads and the expectations we had to meet may have been higher, but I challenge you all to make sure you step into the class of 2022's shoes for a moment and think about how much information floods their screens and how quickly they sort through it to make sense of it, particularly these past 3 years. They may write in short text messages or witty memes, but they have developed so many ways they communicate information that they can always be in the know. And when something is wrong with our community, country, or the world, they are poised to take action because they have faced each new challenge and shown the ability to overcome. Seniors, one caution though. Be sure to sift through the information you receive, weigh it against multiple and reliable sources. Bear with me on this acronym, they know it. Cut through the crap as you were taught to, and make your choices and decisions responsibly so that you can be proud of every one of the choices you make. You have left your mark on HPHS. You have brought back our traditions, and you have accomplished so many things at regional, state, and national competitions. Whether it be through DECA, Model UN, or Model Congress, robotics, mathletes, choir, band, or orchestra, you all should remember that you were able to return and participate in these wonderful experiences again, and Highland Park High School always brought their best to the table in their performance because of your roles at these events. You brought life back to the auditorium and stage in concerts and plays, and a rousing rendition of Chicago that made us laugh and cry to see your talent shine. You returned fully to athletic competition, and although some teams may not have had winning seasons, you always walked off the mat, field, track, or court with your heads held high, knowing you did your best. In a number of sports, your best was new personal records, division recognition, or even winning your division in your track event. You know who you are. You have excelled, class of 2022, and as we have collectively realized these past 3 years, there is still so much for us all to learn, because only those who keep learning from our shared experiences will change our community, country, and the world for the better. Personally, I've learned the lesson of patience most clearly because I can't always make things happen as quickly as I want, or even make things happen at all when decisions and choices are not mine to control. But I have done my best to be your principal, and our faculty and staff have done their best to prepare you for today and what lies ahead, whether it be college or career. Now it's up to all of you to take flight as those owls, filled with the pride of being a Highland Park High School graduate. You have shown that you have the hope and perseverance you need to take on the challenges you face. Congratulations to the Highland Park High School class of 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Lassiter. On the direction of Mr. Keith Prusty and Miss Nicole Hodge, the Highland Park Concert Band and Choir will now play Homeward Bound. Senior members, please join the band and choir.
Thank you, Mr. Presti and Ms. Hodge, and members of the concert band and choir. Senior members, please return to your seats.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce the Superintendent of Highland Park High Schools, Dr. Nicosia.
Thank you, Cameron. Good afternoon, members of the Board of Education, colleagues in administration, distinguished members of the faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, the class of 2022. I can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to address you today. I see before me a group of students and future leaders whose journeys have been characterized by unprecedented resilience, whose paths were often beset with unexpected challenges that few, if any, who've come before you had to navigate. You came of academic age during a time of great institutional change and at times uncertainty. In the face of considerable disruption to your academic careers and often personal lives, you displayed adaptability and a drive to learn that can be described as nothing short of inspirational. And it has been my sincerest and most profound pleasure to witness the journey you've made to the sits in which you sit now. I also hope, and indeed my expectation, that you will take this drive and use it to shape a life that is truly worthy and demonstrative of your limitless potential and talent. It's often said that anything that is hard in life, that you gotta want it, and it's hard for me to imagine anyone who wants it more than you all. Your efforts, ambition, and perseverance are a credit to your family, your teachers, your fellow students, and of course your superintendent. Now, as you begin to shape the rest of your lives and the future of the world along with them, I want to give you one last challenge. I know it's the last thing any of you all want is another assignment. I promise there's no looming deadline and no grade attached. I'm challenging you to harness the character, lessons, and knowledge you've cultivated here, take it past where you found it, and use it to affect the change of which everyone on this stage and everyone who has ever had the great pleasure of teaching you knows you're capable. Let me close by reiterating how incredibly amazed I am by each and every one of you, and how confident I am that this amazement will only grow for years to come as I continue to receive word of your accomplishments. So make it happen, make your mark, and make us proud. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Now I'll invite Mr. Laster back to the podium to certify the class.
I certify that the class of 2022 before you has met all of the requirements of the state of New Jersey and the Highland Park Public School District. I recommend them to you for receipt of their diplomas. I now welcome Mr. Broadfoot back to the podium to call the class of 2022.
Now I request Mr. Lassiter, Ms. Pruce, Dr. Nicosia, and Mr. Richardson, please proceed to the diploma table. Amaya Louise Villa Anderson. Rachel Avijas. Hold on. Nigel Bailey. Donia Ali Bayoumi. Ana Valeria Barahona. Bernadette Bedford. Benjamin Joseph Byer. Gabriela Bravo Enriquez. Giovanni Michael Brusca. Matthew Connor Brzezowski. Denise Alexa Stockton Buku. Emmanuel Casino Posadas. Abigail Carmen. Kyrie Carricker. Nicole Chakhalian. Yvette Evelyn Chans Martinez. Anna Chu. Maria Nieve Cisnado Sanchez. Isaiah Angel Cruz. Rosa Elise de Aguiar. Penelope Ruby de la Cruz. Jack Draper. Oz Duncan. Zainab Etchalanabu. Fabiola Andrea Enriquez. Yi Fang. Sapir Philhart. Alice Jeanette Fredman. Jacob Austin Freed. Theo S. Gardwise. Kyra Gok. Esther Miriam Goldstein. Dynasty Ajane Gordon. Aaliyah Green. Alina Guan. Ewan Harold Haley Locke. Cameron Howland. Maria Hu. Fanny Huang. Patrick Xavier Huembes. Jack Ronald Hume. Aisha Hiba Hussein. Maxwell Julian Hutkin. Kazir Jahad Jackson. Aya Tasir Jadalahak. Christopher M. Jenkins. Abigail Valencia Joseph. John Michael Caracas. Tajira Lachey Kelton. Julius Joseph Knapp. Michael Morris Landis. Christina Lima Ramirez. Enma Lin. Matthew Lucian Liu. Ava Edmonds McKinnon. Skylar Jefferson Mack. Marie May Mao. The next one, he's not here. So we're just going to put that one to the side. But I'm going to say his name, but he's not. Jacob Andrew Marsh. Eric Martinez. Salma Mazrui. Aiden William Miller. Franz Manaya. Kevin Morales Avila. Faison Morris. Melanie Camila Munoz Calero. Jaden Isaiah Murray. Robert Percy Nielsen. Kamsi Samuela Ojina. Tona Ojina. Christine Yawan Park. Alex Pelicane. Enrique Perez. Robert Nissan Pesca. Zoya Teresa Pinto. Jeremy Ponce. Tess Lily Powell. Masuma Zahra Qureshi. Sriram Chandram Ramakrishna. None. Lexis Edwin Rodriguez Figueroa. Mark Jeffrey Rubin. Tikoa Mario Ocho Ruggiero. Giovanna Scaletti. Abigail Rose Dahlen Schofler. Stefan Alexandros Segura. Joshua Lawrence Shapiro. Milo Earl Schiffman. Maeve Violet Silverman. Rena Hannah Sylvie. Amay Singh. Tapo Brata Singha. Gloria Yaun San. Karen M. Solomon. Micah Autumn Lachey Somerville. Mason James Springer Lipton. Kamaya Jazz Thompson. Liam James Tilton. Natalia Rose Tamahach. Najeli Torres. Tyler Ryan Trin. Ian Tulop. Ronald Cody Underwood. Adina Marguerite Warshawski. Lucian Peter Werney. Oscar Sodakov Wolf. Okay. Isaac Lingbu Wu. Gary Y. Yan. Juan Yu. Katerin Zavala Ramirez. Vincent Zhang. Boyang Zhao. Amy Zhu. Zichen Stella Zhuang.
We, the class of 2022, would like to thank the many members of the Highland Park High School faculty and staff who have worked very hard to make this ceremony successful. Will the class of 2022 please rise? Please move your tassels to the left.
Class of 2022, congratulations. Throw those caps in the air. Thank you all for celebrating with us. Please remain seated. The graduates will meet you once they come back outside the building after they recess. Thank you for your cooperation. The orchestra will now play the recessional.